Hey, do reviews. What's up? It's me, Stan. So pretty much, I want to do a follow up message for you. It's not about you, it's for you actually. So you know what to do with these messages. Once you listen to it, somehow let me know, and then I'll private it or whatever, unlist it. Um, yeah, as you saw, I didn't take the message down. I mean the previous one. Because I thought, you know, everything was kind of weird yesterday. Yes, you apologized to me, and I really appreciate that you guys did realize that it was all misunderstanding. Because it was, obviously misunderstanding, and I'll repeat the whole situation how it was really, and just to make sure that we confirm that. So pretty much, what I got upset over. Okay, I want you to understand that point. What I got upset over is this: you, when yet we were friends and talking, right? You mentioned that you had some friends who were bullying you. Well, bullying me through you, whatever you want to call it. They were bullying, right? Let's say it that way. They were bullying and telling that I'm a bad guy, that I'm a creep, that I'm a freak, that I'm this and that. And you were sticking up for me, which I really appreciate, which I really think this is what friends supposed to do. If somebody would be talking bad stuff about you, I would stick up for you because I know who you are for real. Like I know you're a nice guy. I know you know, your videos, you're polite, you're friendly, you're smiling, you're positive, and there's nothing bad. I mean, we've been friends, and you shared your life story with me, and I shared my life story with you, and we kind of started trusting each other and started building up friendship and all that stuff. That's the way the friendship is built. And while they were doing that, you had no problem, absolutely no problem. This is the point where I want you to understand me, right? And hopefully you did. You had no problem of giving me their name. Well, one of them, at least, right? Elias or whatever his name is. You said, well, one of them is Elias, and you kind of introduced me to them. Introduce, that's a key word right there. You introduced me to them. Not just give out their name, but introduce me, right? To them, to somebody who was mean to me. Now, look at the contrast where I asked you, like you posted the video. I'm just, making the story shorter, the long story short. Um, you posted the video of you reviewing Mountain Dew with friends, you had a friend or friends, two people, and I asked you, are those people who actually bullied me? Because I never saw them. I don't know who they are, right? I don't know who they were. So, and I asked you that, and you said no. About this one guy, you said this is my best friend, and you said no, this is my best friend. So that made me think, okay, cool. Those friends are, you kind of like got upset with them because they were bullying me as your friend, and you said this is your good friend, this is your best friend, one of them your best friends, right? And I simply asked you, the mistake I made that confused you and confused everyone is that I asked you, I wonder what his name is. I should have asked, instead of should have asked, um, can you introduce me to them? Is it possible? Like, if it's a good guy, if it's a good friend, I mean, why not introduce and be friends, all three of us, at least? If that person would not bully me, if that person would not bully you, we could, be friends. If that's the person who actually introduced you to the Mountain Dews, I found out, right? So, but I asked, I wonder what his name is. Basically, I thought you would understand that. Okay, so I give out the name of the bullies and I introduce them kind of. Why don't I introduce my good friend to Stan? You know, and I thought you would understand. And you kind of said, well, he doesn't want his name out there. And I said, well, yeah, I understand. I mean, on YouTube, yes, in the real world, in the whole world, would know his name, maybe, yeah. But I mean, among friends, that's fine. And back then, I was considered being your friend, right? So, while you introduced me to somebody who was bad, you would not introduce me to somebody who was good. And that's what got me upset. Not the fact that I did get his name. It's not about the name. I told you multiple times. I was stressed out and I didn't come up with the right words to explain the whole thing. But I basically said that, I basically said, well, why don't you, you introduced me to bad friend, you even told me their name. while you would not introduce me to a good friend whom you think might be good, to me, and might appreciate that we're friends and stuff like that. That's basically the whole thing was. But I also told you, yeah, the names, the first names are people, for it's they were invented for people to be called by it and stuff like that. I will not go into that. You understand the message. You heard that message maybe multiple times, and I thought you would understand me, but that confused you, and you started thinking along with your other friends that I'm trying to get the personal information, which I would never do that. I would never. I would never like dig out somebody's personal information. I don't need that. I don't need it. But introduction is something that introduction is something that shows friendship. Like if you introduce your friends to your other friends, you show them that they're accepted. You show that they're respected, and you join them kind of your circle of friends. That's what I meant, and I was kind of trying to explain it to you. But the way I asked the first question, like I wonder what his name is, probably confused you, and you thought, whatever you thought, and you united with that bully guy and started thinking crazy stuff about me. But thanks God you understood it. Thanks God it's all out of the way. Because I wouldn't, dude, how could you even think about this about me? I would never do this. You know what I do? How I treat somebody's information? Here's how I treat somebody's information. Let's say, for example, I don't know, you found the videos of Avery Heaney, right? For example, Mountain Dew reviews, or some other, there are a bunch of them. There are a bunch of people who are actually into Mountain Dew. And you found their channel, and you ask them, Stan, do you know this guy? Or do you know this person? And I would say, yeah, I know. I'm friends with them. And you'll say, do you know if they have Discord or something? I would say, yeah, probably they have Discord or Skype or whatever. And you would say, for example, hey, I wonder if we can all collab. I wonder if you can share their Discord or Skype or whatever, so we could collab and maybe, exchange Mountain Dews, and maybe that person has something that we don't have and we can get it and review it and stuff, and we can collab and stuff. What I would say is, hey, okay, yeah. So I would say, for example, Avery Heaney. Well, he does have Facebook, but I would have to ask him if I can give you his Facebook. Now, not only I'm saying that, but I have to be honest about that. Like, I have to actually go and ask, not sit and make up stuff and say, oh, well, you know what? I asked, but he said no. Well, I have to be honest. Like, if I asked him. If he said yes, I have to say yes to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, but give out Facebook without him asking, without asking him first. That's not something that I would do. And I would not. Another thing that I would not do. I would not. For example, you ask me for his Facebook or something. I would not come to you and say, "Well, I can't give it out." Well, I can give it out, but I'll have to ask him first. And whatever he says, it's his decision. It's not my decision. If he says yes, well, I don't have a, it would be mean of me lying to you and tell you he said no, for example, right? So I'm a really honest, I'm a really pure person. I'm a really, but I know how to keep secrets. I know how to, keep her personal information personal, really. If somebody shared something with me, like for example you shared with me your life story, I shared with you my life story, well, that's something between us. That's not public, right? And if you, for example, if you want to share my life story with your friend, with your best friend, not the one who's a bully, but with your best friend, and you would come to me and ask, hey Stan, can I share the life story? And I would say either yes or no, and then depending on my answer, you would proceed, right? That's the way I act. That's the way what I do. I like to be honest with people. I like to be fair to people. I like to be friendly with people, and that's who I am. That's pure me. I don't have anything to hide. I don't have any bad intentions. I told you that. I'm trying to make friends the best I can because of my vision disability and stuff like that. I've been bullied, and I'm not trying to play a victim here. I'm just trying to say, like you told me your story, and I said, okay, and I understand where you're coming from, and hopefully you understood where I'm coming from. And So that's the the first part of it. Second part, here's the second question to you. Now, you told me yesterday, after apologizing and everything, clear out the drama. You told me yesterday that your dad said that you're not allowed to be friends with anybody. Now, I'm clarifying the message. Now, are you grounded basically from from Discord? Like your dad said, no Discord. Like like, for example, like in our church sometimes we have uh, my friend Larry. His name is Larry, and he has kids. And sometimes they take phones to the church, right? And sometimes they play during the church, during the meeting, during the service. Actually, they start playing the phones, and they make all the sounds and stuff. And he told them once, he told them twice to turn them off. They would not. So they would, he would tell them, well, no phone for 2 days, or no phone for 3 days, or no video game, no, they would ground. He would ground them basically. Now, my question is to you: did your dad basically ground you, and you're not allowed to talk to people on Discord, or did your dad say that you're not allowed to make friends at all? Now, those are two different things. Because if your dad is saying, no offense, but if your dad is saying, I'm not trying to tell you that what to do either, but just between me and you, if your dad is saying you're not allowed to make friends, or you're not allowed to, yeah, you're not allowed to make friends, be friends, whatever. Uh, I would say he is wrong because he, uh, what should I say? What is it called? Hold on the opposite side, like it should be the opposite. In other words, it should be the opposite. Our parents should teach us how to make friends, not how to not make friends, but how to make friends. And they should encourage us to have friends, to make friends, and test for friendships, and get to know people, and be friendly to people around you, and people who come your way, you're being nice to them, and figuring out who they are, and get to know them, even if the person is on YouTube channel, even if the person from, I don't know, from a video game or something, like you chat on Discord with somebody who played video games, or it's the person who joined your server on the Discord. You always try to treat them nice. You always try to treat them as a friend, and you show, in fact, that you know what friendship is, and you know how to make friends, and that's all that you have to be taught, and I had to be taught, and everybody of us have to be taught by parents, by I've been taught by, I think I told you about, that I went in Ukraine. I went to boarding school. By the way, it was hit by missiles 3 times the past week. So it was destroyed. Well, not fully destroyed, but badly destroyed. No one suffered. No one was at school. Thanks God. But, it was crazy. You can watch the video. You can type in, or I can send you the video underneath this video or something like that. But we had the boarding school, and we had people like disciplinary. So pretty much our school was everything. It was school, like we had classes. We could live there, we could eat there, we could play there, we could go outside, we could go to the gym, it's like a boarding school, pretty much. And we had disciplinarians, people who would watch over us, basically, like counselors. You call counselors, right? So, and this one counselor, oh man, I told you about her probably, that she was really strict, and she was really like a little bit naive, kind of like, if you could lie to her, like, oh, this person cursed, and she would go and yell at that person, even though that person would not curse. but that's the only downside about her. But the upside, she was always teaching us how to make friends. She was always teaching us to share. She was always teaching us to be polite. She was always teaching us, like, she would go out with us to, like, take us to the theater, to the circus, to parks, to, like, she would always care about us. Sometimes she was kind of like, like, for example, I remember this one kid in my class. We were sitting down, and somebody slapped the book, like, like, basically, he was reading a book and just slapped it. And she was like, why do we do this? It's hurt for the book. It hurts for the book to do this. The book is in pain, and she would like kind of like, you know, she would be naive about this. But hey, she told us. I guess she had the right point in that too, because, well, you can't use the property, school property like this, because you return this book and somebody else is gonna, use it, and if it's ripped apart, if it's fallen apart because of you misuse, your misuse, then you're the one to pay for it. You're the one to get a new book. So she was right. She was right at that point. But anyways, she would always we were always taught how to be friends, not how not to be friends. Not sit home and be locked down and stare at the computer and do YouTube, but don't go out and don't make friends. But how to be friends. That's the main point. So, that's the question. If your dad is grounding you from Discord, that's one thing, But if your dad says you're not to make any friends, that's a sad thing. That's a sad thing because you have to realize yourself, that's going to ruin your life. You will have almost no friends. You will not be able to make new friends and stuff like that. So you kind of have to think, the Bible says we need to obey the parents, but obedience should be rational. Obedience should be like, if we feel that it's fair for them to do something, like to say something like, for example, like, I don't know, you go to bed in school night, you go to bed like at 10 o'clock, 10:30 the most, and if you go at 11 o'clock, you get yelled at. Well, it's for your own benefit because you'll feel tired in the morning. They know how it feels, so they tell you to go and do it, and they might take away your phone or take away your computer or ground you somehow, but that's for your own benefit, you know what I'm saying? But if, for example, your parents or somebody's parents tell somebody, sit home and don't come out, don't talk to Indians, or don't talk to Chinese, or don't talk to, whoever, and they teaching you, to be disrespectful for different nationalities, or, maybe different people with disabilities or something like that, then it's wrong side. Then you should have your own opinion about that. I should say, well, mom, dad, or whatever, well, not you, but I'm just saying person, whoever, you, person X, right? You should just tell, hey, mom, dad, I think this is wrong. I think this is not right. I think I need to be nice to whoever is nice to me. I think I need to get to know the person first before judging them, and not being friends with somebody just because you don't want me to be friends with people. I don't think is right. I think you as a human being have a right to say that, and yeah. So I mean, depending on the situation, again, depending on where you are with your dad, with this thing, if your dad doesn't want you to have friends, period, unless you can talk to him, and kind of like rationally discuss that, subject, then the question is, what are you trying to achieve with YouTube? You know what I'm saying? Because YouTube draws audience. Especially when you make videos like you do, like I do, like programming, reviews, unboxings, whatever it is. Because we do it for people, right? We're kind of drawing the audience to us. And when, people want to, when people watch our videos, they want to communicate with us. Hey, where did you get that flavor of Mountain Dew? Or, hey, I wonder, because I'm learning coding, and I wonder, how do you do this? Or how do you do that? Or, oh, I have a computer and I have this issue with my computer. How do you do this? How do you fix that? Remember, like, you showed me your computer with the broken screen. I told you what you need to do exactly. Yeah, because I have the same computer and I disassembled it, so I know what's wrong inside. And I told you exactly which parts to get for it to fix it. And I said, if you want, even I can service your computer for you. Like, seriously, I'm dealing with customers, I'm dealing with computers. If we agree, you could send it out and we get the parts and fix it. So there's no problem. Um, so that's what I'm basically saying. So you need to find out from your dad what it is, pretty much. Why is he saying that? And then make your own decision. Like, do you want to sit there and, so the point, I'm sorry, I didn't finish the point. So the point is, if your dad or your mom is, and you can't get them to agree with your points, then there's no point of you doing YouTube. I'm just saying, not you, just in general. In this particular case, if you're trying to be famous on YouTube, if you're trying to go somewhere with your YouTube channel, and you're not allowed to make friends, then okay, what's the point of you being on YouTube? You know what I'm saying? You're doing it and you're watching your own videos yourself, and you appreciate yourself. Hey, I did this. Okay, so what's the point? The point of your YouTube channel is somebody else to appreciate you, or somebody else to come your way and say, hey, where did you get this Mountain Dew, gold, whatever it was gold? Where'd you get the Mountain Dew First Bite? I'm trying to get one. Where'd you get Typhoon? Or where'd you get Mountain Dew Throwback? Whatever. And people could ask you questions, and people could collab with you, because basically YouTube is like a family. YouTube is like you pretty much. It's pretty much a community. It's like your neighborhood. Pretty much. If people come your way in YouTube, they're your neighbors, pretty much. Your fans and friends. And well, how do you distinguish friends from fans? Well, the person just comes to your channel and puts a like and comments, and that's the only thing that person does. Then yeah, it could be more like a fan or subscriber. But if the person is talking to you and trying to help you with something, like, I don't know, like sending you Mountain Dews to review, or sharing, or collabing, or even going further with that and saying, hey, like you call that person and say, hey, I'm stuck on this homework problem, and that person say, hey, let me help you with that. What's your problem? Let's sit down and figure it out together. And you figure it out together, and that person helps you. So it's already started being something more than just subscriber and a fan. It's something, the friendship starts to build, and then you do something for that person. You watch their YouTube channel, and if they have, I don't know, some kind of difficulty with something, you can jump in and help. Hey, just why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Suggest them. And, that already is considered friendship, when one person helps another person, and vice versa, when that other person helps that first person. It's considered to be a friendship, right? And so on. That's how you make friends. And if, somebody tells you not to make friends, well, that's kind of rude. No offense. So, well, again, depending on the situation there, if that's, if you're grounded, that's one thing. If he doesn't want you to make friends, your dad, well, then you guys have to talk and discuss why, his points, and maybe he misunderstood something. You can clarify something for him, and there's yeah, that's they're good points. Our parents should teach us how to be in the world, not how to be locked down in the room and sit down at the computer and not even going outside and socializing with people. All right, man. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to the gym right now, Ollie Fitness, as I usually go. And I hope maybe I'll talk to you soon if you unblock me, or somehow. Well, I'm not sure, but hopefully you watch this video and find it helpful. I'm trying to help. I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to, say something, you're a terrible person, or something like that. No, that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to say, hey, hopefully my tips were helpful. All right, man. See you. Hey, I still have those violets. I didn't even open them because I was so stressed out, honestly. and I didn't want to even see them because you're the one who actually suggested me to them, the Mountain Dew Violet. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I might keep them close for now. So who knows? Maybe I'll resell it for more than a 50. Did I buy it for 50 a can? Yeah, 50 a can. Oh yeah, I'll sell it for 70 a can. Why not? 70 or 80 a can. So I have 6. 8 times 6 is what? 6 is 36, and then yeah, multiplications. You get the point. I don't want to sit down and count. But anyways, 8 times 6 is 48. What am I doing? 6 times 8 is 48. It even rhymes. Yeah, 48. So $480 for 6 cans. If the can is $60 a can. No, wait. No, if it's $80 a can, then $48 for $480 for 6 cans. Yeah. So hey, you can make money off of it. $480 when I bought it for $350. Shh! Don't tell anyone. Okay. I'm in. See ya. Bye.